Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our daily word. Today's Friday, July 9th of the year 2021. When I walked outside early this morning, thankfully the weather has changed and you could actually breathe when I walked outside today. So it was good to feel that this morning. Glad you could join me for our few minutes together for our daily word and our conversation about scripture. At my new house today, the new refrigerator is being delivered soon. So if we get cut off early, if I have to stop early, that's why, because our new refrigerator is hopefully coming today in a little bit. And so, today's my brother's birthday. So, my much younger brother's birthday. So we celebrate with him today as well. The scripture this morning is from Colossians chapter 3. I know that I've shared it before, but I want to just expound on it a bit today as we think about how we live our lives together. Colossians 3:12 through 15. As God's chosen ones, holy and beloved, clothe yourselves with compassion, kindness, humility, meekness, and patience. Bear with one another, and if anyone has a complaint against another, forgive each other, just as the Lord has forgiven you. So you must also forgive. Above all, clothe yourselves with love, which binds together everything in perfect harmony. And let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts, to which you were indeed called to one body, and be thankful. So you already know, I talk about it a lot, you already know I officiate a lot of weddings. And the last couple of weddings that I officiated, the last 2 weeks actually, this particular scripture has been used before I give my homily. And the scriptures gives us some powerful words. Now, I use it in wedding ceremonies because in this thing called marriage and in relationships, there is this idea, that we come to it with love and we come to it with excitement, and often brides and grooms are really nervous and have to invite them to take deep breaths and as they begin this new journey together. And there is this thought, and I always share this with them, that because they come to this with love, and they're full of excitement in that moment, and all of us know it, we have in our life together, ups and downs, right? It doesn't always go great. There are great mountaintop experiences, and then there are just experiences that we struggle with, when the washer and dryer breaks and the refrigerator breaks and the dishwasher breaks and the car breaks down, or we just don't see eye to eye about things. And Paul says to us, now hear this, and this is what I think magnifies this for us, if you will. As God's chosen ones, holy and beloved, clothe yourselves with compassion, kindness, humility, meekness, and patience. Okay, we get that. But then bear with one another. And I got to thinking about that particular phrase, bear with one another. Now, there are times that in our relationships with each other that we bear with one another by simply staying away from each other, right? We just say, well, I need my space. I'll deal with whoever. I just need my space from Jim, and I'll feel better about him in a few days, or with our spouse, or with our neighbor. And that's one way to deal with it. But another, or a better way, bear with one another, it seems to me, is the thought that we find ways, if we bear with one another, we hold each other up. We don't just stay away, but we really hold each other up. We bear one another's burdens. I hurt my hip the other night, and I've been really struggling. Thank God for delivery today. They're going to get a refrigerator where it needs to be, because I'm really struggling with walking today. It's a very frustrating thing. And often when I walk, depending on who I'm with, I put my hand on their shoulder. So if we're going into the store, Diane and I put my hand on her shoulder. The other day, it was Diane and Kelsey and Weston and I. And Diane had Weston and they made their way. Kelsey just waited for me. And as we walked in the store, I had my hand on her shoulder. Now, It's not a lot of pressure I put on her shoulder, but it's enough to get me from point A to point B. For us, I think Paul says to us, that's what it means to bear with one another. That at times we simply need to have the other person's shoulder to bear us up. We bear each other, and then we bear each other up with prayer and to help each other out and to share our lives with each other. And if anyone has complaint against another, forgive each other just as we've been forgiven. We must also forgive. That bearing up of each other, that forgiving each other, I think is really crucial to how we live our lives. And I think maybe that when I think about it and as I talk to people and as I see relationships go around in our world, I wonder if sometimes it's one of the things that we've lost. This bearing up of each other. This just simply forgiving each other because we've been forgiven. And I think as we live our lives, as we go through summer, as we, for us in Shelby County, we have the fair pretty soon, and the things that happen there, and sometimes relationships can get strained, just with our neighbors and our coworkers and our friends. I wonder for us, for you and I, because we would claim, we would claim, as God's chosen ones, holy and beloved, if we have indeed compassion, kindness, humility, meekness, and patience in our lives, then we really should bear each other up, hold each other up, be able to put our hand on each other's shoulders. And then it says, clothe yourselves with love, which binds everything together in perfect harmony. And let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts, to which you were indeed called to one body, and be thankful. Above all, clothe yourselves with love. And I think love is another way that we that we bear one another's burdens, that we love each other, and because of love, we bear each other up, and we do that in a real. So I use this scripture in weddings the last couple of weeks, and it really resonates with everyone, not just the couple, but when I give a homily at weddings, I talk to everybody in the sanctuary who's there, or wherever the wedding might be, and I share it with everyone because, we all need each other to bear each other up. And often after weddings, every single time, someone, as they're coming out, compliments me about what I did and what I had to say, and thanks me for the words, and I'm even sometimes thanked because they are thankful that I reminded them about how it is that we're called to live. And so for you and I, as we live our lives together in these days, and the burdens that we share, and the difficulties in life, we're called really to bear each other up. And the example that I gave to you is really what I think we're called to. Kelsey, the other day, just waited. She waited for me, put my hand on her shoulder, and she helped me get where we were going. I think that's what Paul calls us to. And maybe this unique way of living our lives. So, might this be a good word for us today? Might it help us as we live our lives with each other? I'm thankful for all of you and for people who bear with me. I'm thankful for those I can bear with and share my life with. And when we do that in a powerful way, good things happen in our lives. So, that's the word for Friday. I hope you'll join us Sunday morning for worship at 10:15 as we share in worship together. And then again here Monday morning at 10 o'clock. So, I hope you have a great day, a great weekend. Enjoy the beauty of the day. Be reminded of God's love in your life and my love for all of you. And I will see you Monday morning at 10 o'clock and Sunday morning at worship at 10:15. Have a great day and a great weekend.